Okay, so thanks for getting on. I know this kind of random pop up Thursday night, but I'm trying to find a day of the week that's more consistent that we can do team calls. Because while I love our big team calls on Tuesdays at 12:30, or I guess 11:30, that's I like having our own calls, because I feel like there's something new that we are learning on a smaller scale. The big stuff is good, but this stuff is not necessarily isogenics related. It plays into isogenics, but it's more about personal growth, personal development, how to use social media, those kind of things. Hey, girl.
Hi.
All of those things, because I think it's important that while we are a part of isogenics, we are not isogenics. We may bleed whatever colors they are now, lime green and navy blue, I don't know. But we are not isogenics. And so in order to be successful in this company, you have to find a way that you stand out on your own. Not going away from like using the products and all that, but creating your own voice. And each of us on this call right now are so vastly different, but we all have a similar goal in mind, which is to bring these products to people, to serve them with health and wellness, to show them how to make money using the compensation plan, to provide something that they've never had before, which may be belief in themselves, belief in change, and belief for what they want for the future. And that's where this call is going to kind of start tonight. If Erica jumps on, like I said, it's great. If she doesn't, it's okay too. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to show you a clip from the movie from Rachel Hollis. It's called Made for More, and she's talking about setting goals. I have actually watched this movie several times over. Let's see if I can share my screen. Okay. Let me know if y'all can hear
Need to choose one thing. There is so much more power.
Katie, I can't hear anything.
You can't?
No, ma'am.
Let me see. I had this problem the other night, and I can't figure out how to make it work. Let's see. Regina, can you hear it at all? No? Crap. Options, volume. I'm live. Let me see. Okay, let me just stop my share. Okay, I don't know why that's not working. I tried to do it the other night with a different video and it wasn't working either. So I'm gonna have to figure that out because it used to work regularly. But basically she was talking about to be effective with anything that you're doing, you have to have one goal. You have to choose one thing that you're working on right now that can exponentially push you to where you want to be in the future. So she calls it the 10-10-1. So you have 10 dreams. Let's see, what is it? 10-10-1. 10. 10 dreams, 10 something, one goal. So basically you set out, like, what are your top 10 dreams in your entire life? Like, what's the biggest 10 things that you would want to accomplish in your lifetime? And then you narrow that down to 10, like 10 mini goals or something like that. And then you choose one thing to focus on right now. 10 years, 10 dreams, one goal. That's what it is. So in 10 years, where do you want to be? What are those 10 goals? And then what are you focusing on right now? So if you write down where you want to be in 10 years, what does it look like? What are some of the things that you envision for yourself? What does your day-to-day look like? What does your family look like? What does your work life look like? What are your hobbies? What are things that you enjoy doing? Who are people that you are surrounding yourself with? You write these things down, and then you write down the one thing that you're focusing on right now that's going to get you there. And as you start to really, this is like a visualization exercise that she does every single morning. And it helps her, what she said, when I accomplish that one thing, then I move on to another thing from that list. And after I've accomplished all the things on those lists, I'm encouraging myself to dream bigger. So there's always 10 things on that list, but I'm always continuing to grow my vision for the future and what I want. She said, and the most important thing is that you give yourself credit for the things that you've already done good, the things that you're already accomplishing right now. That may not be that $1 million income, that may not be, paying off all of your credit cards, but you paid off one credit card, or you paid off those student loans, or you bought your first car, or you had your first event and you got face-to-face with people, or something scary that's on your list that's going to propel you to where you want to be. Because what we do right now matters in the scope of where we want to be 10 years from now. And I think about that as to where I'm at right now in life. Like, my life is a complete mess as we sit right here. Like, I haven't showered today. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. My office looks like a bomb went off in here because we're unpacking and it's all the things. But I have, for 1 hour today, I sat down for 1 hour today and I said, okay, I'm going to bust out messages because I haven't messaged anybody for the last 2 days. I'm behind on birthday messages. Like, I know these are the foundational things that are going to grow my business. And even though I have no one in my pipeline right now to sign up, I have people I need to follow up with, but I have nobody that's a hot prospect right now. I'm going to do this in good faith, knowing that each day, every time I show up, it's going to add up. Even if it looks like nothing is happening right now, even if I have this goal in front of me and it looks like I am too far away to reach it, I'm going to do it anyway. Because in good faith, I believe in the things that I'm writing down. So I want you to take a hot second and I want you to write down the things that you want for your future. It does not have to be income related. It has to have a purpose behind it. What is the purpose behind why you want these things so badly? What does it look like? What does it smell like? What does it feel like? And I'll kind of describe a little bit of what mine looks like. So my goal, this past summer, we thought we were going to buy a piece of land and a house. And so I was envisioning this house in my mind and what it was going to be like. And like in 10 years, when we had the things that we wanted to have happen, the land was developed and we like made it really cute, what it looked like. And it was this beautiful white house with shiplap and these black shutters and, like big fans and big entertainment places where we brought people in and we shared our vision for the future with other people. Like, I really truly see myself with Isogenics, like, exponentially. And so I was envisioning myself with this big office and this big long table, bringing women in and teaching them about this business and teaching them about how to be present in their life while they're growing this business. And my girls are growing and we have horses and we have, goats and we have chickens and we have all of these things. And me and my husband get up in the morning, we have coffee on our back deck that outlook this gorgeous little pond. And we sit there and we talk about the things that we want for our future. And he's retired from Pipeline, so he's home with me and he's, helping the girls get on the bus and he's doing all these things. It's so strong. I can smell it. I can feel it. It's what I want for my future. And I have to remind myself that everything I'm doing right now, even though we're back in North Dakota and he's back in Pipeline and I'm not making the kind of income that I want to make right now, and my life is a complete crap show, all of the things that I'm doing right now are going to get me there one day. I don't know if it's 5 years from now, if it's 10 years, it's 20 years from now. I see it so strongly. And whatever it is in front of you right now that you want, you have to envision it in your mind, and you have to believe so strongly for it. I'm pushing for executive by October 1st. I have 3 consultants that are active right now, but I have everything I need to make it happen. I just have to believe, and I have to be consistently doing the work. I have to believe that I am worthy of this. And so many times the goals that we set before ourselves, we knock ourselves out of it because we think we aren't worthy. We are afraid of success. Well, what happens if I'm successful? What happens if I hit executive? Well, it's a really awesome paycheck. You made some really awesome money. But we start to doubt ourselves, and we start to doubt the things that we feel called to. I feel called to massive leadership. Like, you guys don't even understand, like, the calling I felt on my life since probably about age 13. And I have no idea what it means or how it's going to come to pass. But each year I get older, each year I lean a little bit more into that, and I'm obedient to what I feel called to. I see bigger things for my life than where they're at right now. But what scares me is what that success means. It's like, oh crap, I'm leading people and I'm imperfect and I am a hot mess and my life is crazy. So how am I supposed to lead people if I'm not perfect? That's my biggest fear in the entire world. I know you would never know that, but that's my biggest fear, is people thinking I have to be perfect to be successful. And it's something that I'm really combating right now, because if I think that, the people that I'm working with are thinking that. The people that see big things for themselves think that. Because I'm one of those people, like, give me a goal, give me the tracks to run on. I'm going to make it happen. But I'm afraid of success. I'm afraid of what that's going to mean. I'm afraid of being an imperfect leader. But what we have to understand is that these fears, these negative things that we allow to come in, the people that we are serving feel that way too. So we have to start combating that and saying, I'm ready for success. I'm open for success. I have everything I need right now to be successful. All I have to do is choose to show up and choose to keep going and choose to let the haters hate and choose to embrace the people that are ready for this. And the people that aren't, they're going to keep watching. And you know what's going to happen? When I'm successful and I'm making paychecks and I'm bringing people in and our team's growing and the community is beautiful, those people are going to say, okay, it's my time. I'm ready to do this, because timing is everything. So you have to understand that these things that we are fearful of are things that we have to learn to use to our benefit. With the things that we have to talk about regularly. So one of the questions I get asked most on social media is, how do you write these posts? Like, where do they come from? Where does your inspiration come from? First of all, I do personal development like a boss, because I know myself and I am filled with self-doubt and I lack self-confidence in a lot of areas. Everything I have learned that I know about network marketing and business, I have learned from YouTube, Google, and Audible. I listen to books on Audible, on YouTube, John Maxwell, as long as I can hear him, like, constantly, because that is the kind of leader I want to be. And I want to evolve my mind enough to understand that where I'm at right now is not where I'm going to be 5 years from now, 5 minutes from now, 5 days from now. If I choose to let myself be different, if I choose to continue to feed myself knowledge and grow. So the things that we encourage people to do with these products to make that change, we have to start putting that in front of them and say, hey, this will change your life. And you have to believe that fundamentally. I believe that every time I turn on Audible, I'm growing. And I'm learning something new that I can take back to someone else and teach them. And that's part of what we are supposed to do. That's part of how we experience growth, how we change people's lives, is we learn things and then we share that with other people. And I share it completely for free on social media, because I know there's someone out there who has no idea about isogenics, but if they hear me talk one time about believing in themselves and letting go of negative self-talk, and that burglars don't break into empty houses. Like, that's the thing that keeps coming back to me. Every time I feel attacked, burglars don't break into empty houses. There's something that they want. There's some reason that they're coming after us, you know? Every time I share that, I'm opening the door to share about something different. I'm opening the door of possibility for them. The people that we already have that we're working with, we have to open that door for them, and we have to make it to where they see and they understand that there's so much more than shake days and cleanse days. There's so much more to this than that. And you guys know, y'all been doing the products for a long time. And when you finally hit that point where you're like, balls to the wall, like, I'm doing this. I'm either I'm either doing it or I'm not. Like that's that. You start to experience change in so many other areas of your life. Your confidence, your backbone, those things just like, where'd that come from? Your belief in what you're doing, the changes that you're making, that starts to rise to this like crazy level, and the people around you start to notice it. And you'll start to notice there's more negativity because people are afraid to make the changes that you're making. They want so desperately to be where you're at and to just have the gumption enough to say, okay, I'm just doing this. Like, I'm not making excuses anymore. I am done. And you're doing it. And they're afraid of that. They're afraid of taking that leap. So you have to be consistent and diligent in sharing and in talking about it and in being bold about it, because someone needs what you have to offer. Someone needs what is on the other side of their fear. Someone needs that. And so you have to be willing to bust through that and say, you know what? I know you're scared. I was scared. That's a lot of money. It's a big investment. I have no idea how I'm going to pay for it every month. But I put these products in my body and I figured it out. You're going to figure it out. I'm going to help you figure it out. We're going to do this together, because people need someone that's in their corner. They just need someone who's going to stand up and say, I am with you. I am for you. You are worth this, because there's not enough people in the world that tell them that they are worth it. But they are. You are. Like, you're absolutely worth it. So I want you to sit for just, I don't know if you'll be able to hear the music or not, but I want you to sit for a couple of minutes, and I want you to write a letter to yourself. And I've got yellow sticky pads. I'm doing the exact same thing, but I want you to write a letter to yourself real quickly. It can be on your phone if you want to. Of all of the things that you've done well this year, I want you to think about it. This year's been a really weird year for me, but I want you to think about it. I want you to praise yourself for all the things that you have done right, all the changes that you have been making that are making a massive impact, one ripple at a time. What Rachel Haas was saying, if you have a whole handful of pebbles and you throw them into the pond, they make a splash. But if you take a boulder and you throw it into the river or to the whatever, it makes a massive wave that ripples and ripples and ripples and ripples. So think about what your pebbles are. What are the little things that you have been doing, but what's that one big thing that you're ready to just take the cap off of and just let loose? And then I want you to write down the fears that you have behind these things. So write down what you've been doing good this year already, what changes that you're making, what's your one thing that you want to continue to change starting right now. And then I want you to write down your fears that you have and what's holding you back. So I'm going to do it too. I'm going to turn on some music. If you can't hear it, like, turn on your own music, jam out. But I'll play some of my favorite. These are my favorite pump up jams. One day I'll walk across stage to this. You're broken down and tired of living life on the merry-go-round, and you can't find a fighter. But I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out. Mountains, we gon' walk it out. Mountains, and I'll rise like the day. I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. And I'll rise up, I like the waves. I'll rise up, in spite of the age. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. The silence isn't quiet, and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe. And I know you feel like dying, but I promise we'll take the world to its feet. Mountains, bring it to its feet.
forgot we had each other. And forgot we had each other. And we were rise, we were rise, we'll rise. I'll rise up, rise like the day, I'll rise up. In spite of the ache, I will rise 1,000 times again. And we'll rise up, like the waves will rise up. In spite of the ache, we'll rise, and we'll do it 1,000 times again. Yeah.
Okay, one more song and then we'll. This one's my absolute favorite.
I am not a stranger to the dark. Hide away, they say, 'cause we don't want your broken parts. I've learned to be ashamed of all my scars. Run away, they say, no one will love you as you are. But I won't let them break me down to dust. I know that there's a place for us. You're glorious. Just wanna cut you down. Gonna send a blood, gonna drown a mind. I am afraid, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me. Here I come. And I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared, just you see. I make no apology. This is me. It's my fear. I'll find a way. It's today. Oh, let the streets hear. Please, this world around me.
Okay, I absolutely love that song. And I could go on forever and ever. But in keeping with the time, I want you to take some time to read over what you wrote to yourself. I want you to put it somewhere where you can read it again and again, because there are going to be days when you forget why you're doing this. There's going to be times when, Emery, you trying to say hi? There's going to be times when you lose your way, when life happens, when there are things that completely shake what you believe. But you have to come back to the place where you remind yourself why you started this in the first place, why you work so hard, why you believe so hard for this. I will tell you, in the 5 years that I've been doing network marketing, I didn't really know why I did it. I started because it was something that I needed at the time. And I think that's why so many people start. It's because at the core of it all, we all need change. We all need something to shift for us. And I was at that very pivotal moment where I just didn't know who I was or what my life was going to look like. And nothing that I had planned was turning out the way that I thought it would. And this kind of found me accidentally. And and it has grown to something so much better than I could have ever imagined. And I just want you guys to know, I know that, you know, it looks different for everyone. There's a different roadmap for everyone. Essentially, it's all the same, but it looks different. It's not the same. I put in 5 years of learning and changing and shifting, and it takes time. It does take time. It truly does take time. So don't get bogged down by the fact that it's going to take you a little bit of time. I want you, though, to have that vision of like what you want. And when you achieve that, how are you going to feel? Like, what's going to shift for you? Because sometimes we get these goals in our mind and we plan for things and it happens and then we're like, okay, what's next? You have to have a bigger reason than just, I want to hit this or I want to bring this much income in. Why? Why do you want to do these things? Like, what's it going to matter to you? What's it going to change? What in your life is going to look different than it does now? And when you hit that goal, then what are you going to do? When you hit that goal, what's going to happen from there? So we have to continually be setting ourselves up to evolve, to change, and starting with incremental little things. Like, I want to sign one person this week. I want to talk to 2 people face to face. I want to host my first event. Okay, so when you do that, what's next? When you do that, what's next? Like, you have to continue to build on these things that you're afraid of, because that's when that audacious, like, boldness and that posture of like, I know what I'm doing and I'm excited and ecstatic to bring people on, because there's so much to offer here, far beyond what I'm experiencing right now. So if I get to encourage you guys to do anything every day, I want you to look at this and I want you to look at what you want for your future. That vision has to be so strong. And when other things come into alignment with that, maybe it's a rank advancement, maybe it's, you know, helping someone else rank advance, maybe it's earning a trip, maybe it's like whatever it is, maybe it's paying cash for something or paying off something. I want you to write it down, and I want you to continually remind yourself of the things that you're doing right now that are changing where you're going to be 5 years from now, 10 years from now, a month from now. Because I think when we remind ourselves what we're working for and why, and we can continually see that, it makes all of the ish that we go through every single day worth it. So that's what I want to leave you guys with. I want you to continue to look at this, maybe add more to it. Write down your vision, 10, 10, 1, 10 years, 10 goals, one focus right now, because we can only focus on one thing. And how's that one focus going to build on the other things? And just start there. And what does that look like? So does anybody have any questions, anything you want to add? I'm going to upload this to YouTube as soon as we're done here. Oh, yep, there it is. Go for it, girlfriend.
Oh no, you did a great session. I just wanted to tell you that was awesome.
Well, thank you. We need to get together either tomorrow afternoon or Saturday and plan out some events and just make it happen.
Okay. Tomorrow would probably be best. Saturday, I'm in the cab all day, so.
Okay. Are you free tomorrow
whenever,
afternoon?
just text me. Huh?
Okay. Are you free tomorrow afternoon?
Yeah, just text me.
Okay. I will do that.
Text me when you're ready, and then I'll just shoot over there.